is my first YouTube video, and I never thought I'd be here. But here we are. So welcome, I'm Megan. I hope you'll stay a while. This first video is just gonna be a get to know me. I just wanna share a little bit about myself, what I do, and it's also gonna be a Q&A. So y'all have asked a bunch of questions and I'm gonna try and get through as many as I can. So with that, I'm Megan. I'm a labor and delivery nurse. I'm actually a new grad, so I'm pretty new to L&D, but I'm absolutely loving it. I actually grew up in Canada and now call sunny Florida my home. And why Florida? So I actually went to school at the University of Florida. I was a gymnast, so go Gators. I met my husband in college, and then after nursing school, we got married and I moved back to Florida. I love sharing all things nursing, wellness, my faith, so I just hope that this can be a space to chat about all those things and share what I'm passionate about, share my faith journey, share my nursing journey, and that's kind of it. Now on to the questions. I didn't think y'all would have a lot of questions, but let me tell you, you did. So I'm gonna do my best to answer them all for you. Let's see, what should we start with? Let's start with an easy one. So night shift or day shift? Which do I like better? What do I currently work now? So I'm still in orientation for my new job, so I'm working days. And my previous job, I did work nights and I will be going back to nights. So I am a night shift girly. I don't mind night shift. I love the night shift vibes. And I am not a night person. I love my mornings. I love my morning routine. So working nights is rough sometimes, but it's not the worst. Now that I've experienced both, there's totally pros and cons to each, but for the foreseeable future, I will be a night shift girly. So what pathway did you choose? Did you do an ADN or a BSN? So actually I did a BSN. I actually did an accelerated nursing program to get my BSN. I first got my undergrad, so I did 4 years at UF and I got my degree in health science. And then I actually moved back home to Canada and did an accelerated BSN program. And let me tell you, it was very accelerated. I think my program was 20 months, but it flew by. So yes, I do have my BSN. How long did you go to school for? So in total, 6 years. I was a student athlete in college, so that's why I couldn't do my nursing program right away. I always knew I wanted to be a nurse and go into nursing school, but I kind of got the best of both worlds. I got to be a student athlete and live out that life, and then I got to go to nursing school. So biggest tips for nursing students. Gosh, nursing school has been one of the hardest things I've ever done, and it's rough. And if you're in nursing school right now, I feel you. It is not for the weak. So my biggest tips, you will get through it. You just gotta keep chugging along. And there were so many times where, I wanted to throw in the towel just because it was that hard, that busy, that stressful. And they really put you through the ringer because you're going to be taking care of people's lives, and that's a big deal. So just keep that in mind when you're going through it. It's not supposed to be easy, but my biggest tips are take it one day at a time and you will get through it. I promise. I know it's hard. And self-care. I think trying to balance school and life and just your health is so important. And even after nursing school too, when you become a nurse, I think self-care and creating that work-life balance is so incredibly important and really just does make such a big difference because we can't take care of others unless we take care of ourselves first. So just make sure you're really filling up your cup and then, tackling everything that you have to do. My least favorite clinical from nursing school, med-surg. And what did I start on as a new grad right out of school? You're right, a med-surg floor. So I actually started on a med-surg neuro floor, and I did that for 6 months. And then I said, you know what? this is not for me. And I knew that. I knew I always wanted to work in an OB specialty. So I got some experience on a med-surg floor and I learned so much. It was so, so helpful. Not that you have to start out on a med-surg floor as a new grad, but it does help. So if you do get the chance, or that's kind of your only option at the beginning, go for it, do your time, learn your skills, get comfortable, and then you can move into a specialty. So that's what I did, and that's just how it worked out for me. Any tips to apply for an L&D job going from med-surg as a new grad? So this is exactly what I did. Like I said, I did 6 months on med-surg, and then I applied for OB nursing jobs. So most of them were labor and delivery, which I really wanted. It was either that or the NICU. But just look for hospitals that are teaching hospitals or bigger hospitals that do hire new grads. I know I started in a new grad residency program, and then when I switched over to L&D, it was also a new grad residency program, which is so helpful. You just get so much support, you get extra time on orientation to be more comfortable before going on your own. So that's how I did it. In terms of applying, I didn't really apply to specific job postings. I actually reached out to the hospital's educator, floor manager, and I think that's what really helped me was networking a lot. So don't be afraid to find people's emails, reach out, and shoot your shot. That's what I did. So I think that was really helpful. So network, network, network. You can never have enough networking. Get your name out there. And if there are specific job postings for nurse residency programs, I would also say go ahead and do that too. What's your why and your background? So I knew from an extremely young age that I wanted to be a nurse. I think it is a calling that God put on my life, on my heart, and I've kind of never looked back. So funny story, and maybe you'll believe me, maybe you won't, but I do have proof. I do have proof, and I'll try and pop a picture in here. But in kindergarten, we were asked to draw, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I drew a nurse. I don't know how in kindergarten, I don't know how I knew that, but I want to be a neonatal nurse. And from then on, that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I've pursued. So it's really cool to kind of see that come full circle. And I think too, because I was a NICU baby, my parents talked about it growing up. They had a really special experience through that. So I think that's what sparked my interest for an OB specialty specifically, and wanting to work with moms and babies. But in terms of being a nurse, I've always just felt called. I think it's been placed on my heart for a reason. My why is to always be a light for others, to, share my light, to share my faith with others, to be God's hands, to do his work as a servant for him. And you can do that in whatever you're doing. It doesn't just have to be nursing, but that is what God has given me to do. My faith plays a huge part in my life, and it's something that is at the very forefront of my life too. So yes, I am a Christian. I am a believer. So ministry as a nurse. This is tough because in the medical world, you're not really allowed to, preach, share the gospel with patients. But I'm lucky enough that at my hospital, it is a faith-based hospital. So we are allowed to talk about it and pray with patients and just share that if they're willing. And I think that is so cool to have faith and medicine mix and coincide, because I think it's very hard to do that. There's science and there's faith. So I feel like in my career, I've been able to kind of mesh the two together, and it's just been really incredibly cool to see. How do you leave work at work and not bring the emotions home? I am really bad at this. I'm not gonna lie. It is something that is a work in progress for me, and it's tough. Let me tell you, being a nurse is so emotionally and mentally draining, because you are stepping into your patients' lives and absorbing all of that trauma, all the good, all the bad. So it's really, really hard to not take it home with you. My tip, and again, I'm no expert in this yet, but my tip, once you walk out of the hospital, leave it there. I usually pray and I say, God, please just help me clear my mind, give me peace. Just know that you did everything that you could on your shift. It is a 24-hour job. So if you did your best and you tried your best and you know that you did everything you could, it's really hard to not believe that you did all you could, but try and leave it at the door. And then on your way home, try and just clear your mind. I pray, I listen to worship music. And if you need to talk about it with somebody at home, rant, get it out, and then that's the end of it. It's really hard. I know I've lost sleep over it. My anxiety is so high sometimes, but it is definitely something you learn over time, and it comes with practice and patience and experience. How do you balance your faith/devotional time with a busy schedule? So I love this question. I get it all the time, and I feel like I'm at a point where I've kind of found that sweet spot where I can still fit it in my day, but also, work my 12 hours, have a busy life. So first, I'll say that it doesn't have to be anything drastic. It doesn't have to be time consuming. It doesn't have to be this big thing that you do. So my favorite thing to do is I get up 20 minutes earlier in the morning than I would need to. And I make my coffee, I sit down, and I either do my devotional or I read my Bible. Right now I am trying to read the Bible cover to cover. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I usually read a chapter or two a day. And it doesn't take very long. It takes me 15 minutes in the morning. My favorite devotionals, if you want something that's quick and easy in the morning, is one called First 15. And it's because it's supposed to be the first 15 minutes of your day, or 15 minutes in whatever piece of time that you have during your day. So I love that one. It has a verse, a devotional, and then a worship song, and it takes 15 minutes. And you can just listen to it, you can read it, and that is a really good one. If you want to spend even less time on a devotional, there's also one called First 5. So it's 5 minutes out of your day. So that's a really good one too. A few other things I like to do are listen to worship music in my car on the way to work, on the way home from work, and I pray a lot. I pray to God throughout my entire day, ask for help, ask for peace, ask for knowledge, ask for wisdom, ask for strength to get through the day. And I always say a prayer before I walk into work as well. So like I said, it doesn't have to be anything drastic. It doesn't have to be time consuming. It just has to be something that you can fit into your day whenever that is, to set your mind up for the day, to get that bit of peace and really work on strengthening your relationship with the Lord, even if it's just small bits throughout the day. What is your favorite thing about being a nurse? That's a tough one. There are many things I love about my job, but I love being able to share special moments with my patients. Right now, that is helping bring new life into this world. It is so incredibly cool. It is so incredibly rewarding, and just to bring those tiny new babies into the world is such a miracle. And I don't know how you can't believe in God after seeing a tiny little baby be born. It's just something I can't explain, and it truly is a miracle. What was the best way you found for studying NCLEX and in nursing school? So I used two ways to study in nursing school, and then I picked and stuck with one way to study for the NCLEX. So in nursing school, I really liked Simple Nursing. I love the YouTube videos. They help really break down concepts, especially pathophysiology. And I also used, what is it called? Christine, Nurse in the Making. She has an incredible book that she's created. It breaks everything down. It's easy to read, and And it really just explains everything that you learn in nursing school. She has flashcards. So definitely check her out. I'm going to double check her Instagram handle. I'll put it in the caption below as well. And she has education and study guides for nursing students. I used the complete nursing school bundle. That was really cool, but she has like planners, pharmacology stuff. She has clinical pocket guides, everything. It's fantastic. So I used that along with Simple Nursing. And then in studying for the NCLEX, I just focused on Simple Nursing and I bought the NCLEX study guide, and that is all I used. And I passed the first time, so definitely do that. I've also heard UWorld is good, and then whatever else is out there. I don't know. Love this question. Favorite coffee drink? So I love making my coffee at home. I am such a home coffee girl maker. My favorite has been the Nespresso pods. They're so good. Nespresso pods with my almond milk creamer and sometimes honey or brown sugar. And that's it. Super simple, super yum. I tried the Sabrina Carpenter brown sugar cold brew, I think it is today. Very good, 9 out of 10. It's a little strong for me. I love hot coffee though. I love my hot coffee in the morning. Iced coffees are like a special treat for me. But I think that's kind of all the questions for today. If you want to know anything different, or I missed anything, or you're just curious about anything, about nursing, about faith, about anything, let me know in the comments below. And I will not say subscribe to my YouTube channel, but if you want to follow along, go ahead. I am excited to connect with you all and create a little community. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.